and he usually, introduces me quite a bit. So I don't need to introduce myself that much. But anyway, my name is Krishna. Good evening. And this is spoken English class. If any of what we're doing is figuring questions regarding Apna or interviews and job related questions, please write them in chat. Dipanjan will take them up in chat. Okay. We also have a flow to these events. So we will be focusing on the topic and going through that for the next 40 minutes or so. And then we have a Q&A session. So if you have questions like, my English doesn't sound really good, what do I do about that? How can I improve? This is what I've tried, those kind of things. Dipanjan, there is a Q&A section, no, where people can type in their questions.
Correct. Yeah. So in the Zoom itself, you'll find a Q&A section. So you can, type in your queries here and we'll pick those questions up.
Yeah, so the thing is, I've noticed that in the past sessions, some people had questions in the beginning and they didn't type it. So we kind of missed them in the end. So I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, so having said that, let's jump right in. Okay, so now you know Dipanjan very well, you know Krishna very well. We'd like to know you very well. So please type in your name, where you're from, what English level you feel you're at, like are you a beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and what brought you to this class? Yeah, please type in. Okay, lovely. So we're getting these things coming in today. Okay, so nice to meet you all. So what we would like you to do is, when you're going through this particular session, try and just go with the flow and see by the end of the session what learning you take away from this 1 hour. Okay, can all of us do that? And then in the end, kind of like reflect what it contributed to your English learning. Okay. So, all right. Anybody, what are questions in English?
Anyone can answer. If you feel like you want to try, just raise your hand and we'll call out your name. Don't hesitate, even if you feel you might not the right answer. Just try it out.
So if you want to answer a question, it's a good forum to actually practice your spoken English. So what you can do is raise your hand and we will call out your name and then you can speak. So it's a good opportunity to, practice your English as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Damodar, ma'am, from
Okay.
Visakhapatnam.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the basic English, ma'am. Not much. I'm trying to learn.
So what brought you to this session today?
Huh? I'm not getting your question, ma'am.
Why did you join this session?
So you're just communicate with others in a English language. So basically, I am in Visakhapatnam. So my mother tongue is Telugu. So many people are talking with me. Usually, we are using with Telugu only. So
Okay.
we are not. We are surroundings are not much use better to talk English. So that's why I'm just joined this session to mutually talking and learn.
Okay, all right, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for being here. I'm glad you're using the opportunity to answer questions and also, interact with others. So you're doing what you came here for. Lovely.
Yeah, madam, I ask you one question. This is the continuous session or only just this is just for trial session, ma'am?
Both, like we are doing a series of 10. So if you attend all of them together, also you'll have some learnings. If you come one by one, that's also okay. Both work.
It is just like this 7 p.m. session, ma'am, or any other sessions is there
Right now, Friday, 7 p.m.
every day, ma'am?
No, Friday.
Only Friday 7 p.m.
Yeah,
Weekly one class, ma'am.
yeah.
Oh, thank you. Madam, it is there is any paid course or just
Yeah, so
in
let's
up?
discuss that in the Q&A section. Okay, you can type in this question in that question and answer chat that Deepanjan was talking about, and we'll discuss it later. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let's look at what. Sorry, your name is Damodaran, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he asked me a lot of questions. So he said, when do you hold these classes, right? He didn't ask me what are these classes about, thankfully. I asked him, what did I ask him? Why are you in this class? So he said he wants to improve his English, right? What other words do we use to ask questions? Any idea? What are you doing? Why are you here? When will we have the class? And
What brings you here?
okay,
Where?
where is this class going to be held? Right? Okay. Then,
When,
sorry,
Whom?
when, whom? Yes. Who's going to conduct this class? Right? What else?
How?
Frame a question for me, Radhika.
Okay, ma'am.
We're talking about English classes on Apna. So how are you going to ask that question? How are you going to ask that
How
question?
will you study for your exams?
How will you study for? Okay, that's a good question. Out of context, but that's a good question. Okay. Right. So these
And
are, yes, Vandana, go ahead.
whose maybe we can use like whose WHOS.
Yes, we can. Can you frame a question?
Who's this man?
Okay, all right. Sunil was raising a hand. Go ahead, Sunil.
Ma'am, I where is
Where?
conducting
Yeah,
this? Where is also taken?
yes, we have written that. Correct. So where are we conducting this class? Where are we
Yes,
conducting this
yes,
class, Sunil? Online.
online.
Yeah, this
Yes.
class is happening online. Yeah, that's right. So these are called question words. So you know that somebody is asking you a question when you hear what, why, when, where, whom, and whose. Okay. So if you really look at reality, like it, these questions give you a different idea about that reality. Like what is, so if say, suppose we're talking about this English class, okay? So English class is a thing. So it answers, so if you say this is an English class, what question does it answer? What is this? Why are we doing it? Because we want people in Apna to improve their English. When are we doing it? On Friday at 7 p.m. Where are we doing it? Online. Who is doing it? Apna, along with the host Krishna. How are we doing it? We do a 1 hour program. There is a structure. We do, use a PPT and we talk to people. And we do various games, right? Making sense? So each question is giving a different aspect of this reality called English class. Clear? So these are not the only words we use to construct questions. Okay. Can anyone guess what are the other words we use to frame questions? You can see it, okay? The answers are on the screen. Who wants to cheat and answer?
Anyone who wants to try out, please raise your hand and you can then unmute yourself. अगर आप ट्राई करेंगे तो उसमें आपको वो प्रैक्टिस होगा, आप हेजिटेट मत कीजिए. जो भी ट्राई करना चाहे आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं, आप हैंड रेज कर सकते हैं एंड ट्राई कर सकते हैं चीजें.
Okay,
Anyone?
while
Yeah.
you decide who's going to talk, I'm reading the chat message. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shakil, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. First, I will surely fluent in my English.
Sorry.
I'll get fluency in my English.
Okay. No, so how is it that you ask questions?
शकील जी, आप ये बताइए कि आप क्वेश्चन सवाल कैसे पूछते हैं?
How will you do this?
Okay, so how and why, those are some words we use to ask questions. What are the other words we can use? Do you like this class so far, Shakil?
Yes.
Okay, which word did I use to ask your question?
Do you want to get a job?
Yes, do. What is a do? It's a verb.
Yes.
So, do you want to? Okay.
Hmm.
Have you attended English classes before?
No.
You have not. This is your first English class.
Yes.
Okay. Is this your first English?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are you comfortable speaking English?
Yeah.
So these are basically yes and no questions, right? So if you notice, what, when, why, how, they kind of give you more information about reality. But the moment you use any of the verbs, usually the answer is a yes or a no. Okay. Could you please read out the screen for me?
Verbs do, did, have, had,
Okay.
it, are. Models will, would, should, can, could.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So could you please? So could is a modal. Modal is a word. It's a kind of a verb that tells you basically certainty. I may do it. So basically I can say do it, or I can say could you do it. So when I say do it, it's like an order. But if I say could you do it, I'm giving you a
Could you
choice to say no. Right? So if I say, Shakil, could you read the screen for me? You could say no, ma'am, I will not. Right? But or you could say yes, I will. Right? But if I say read it, then it's like an order. Then it's military style, no? You have to do it. Right? You have
Yes.
to do it. Right? So these are all verbs which are also used to frame questions on a daily basis. So I have a bit of an exercise today. We're going to do something slightly. Usually we do a lot of interaction and then, people chat a lot and then we talk a lot. But today I thought we'll try something different, is where we'll play a small video. Okay. and I want all of you to watch it very keenly, like listen to it. Okay. If you want, you think you didn't get the story, you didn't understand anything, we'll discuss it and we'll watch it again. Okay. And after that, we have to frame questions to see that, the story can be told with questions. Should we try that? Is the community, Apna Community up for that challenge? Dipanjan, you think Apna Community is up to the challenge?
Yeah, we can definitely go ahead.
Yeah, Dipanjan is also, he's waiting for points, I think. Seema, what do you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I'm going to play this and Dipanjan, can you just tell me if it looks okay? Because for me, it's looking a little pixelated. If it's not fine, then I'll just pull it out from the YouTube.
No, let's play. I think it should work. Yeah, it's working fine. But I think the audio is not coming. Or wait. Yeah, I think the audio is not coming.
How do I do that?
I mean, from a presentation, since it's screen share, I think the audio will not come. We'll have to open it in a separate tab and then screen share.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yep, yep.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop share and I'm opening this on YouTube.
Yeah, sure.
So meanwhile, what did Dipanjan and the community, what did Dipanjan discuss with you guys while I was on my way? Anyone?
Ma'am, we were talking about
Your name,
some
please?
things. My name is Ravi.
Ravi,
So,
okay. Yeah,
yes,
what were
ma'am.
we talking about?
We were talking about confidence, how to speak confidently whenever we talk only to someone, and
Oh.
what are the causes of that we are not able to speak. So
Okay.
what we can do there, and how to find a partner to whom we can talk daily
Oh, lovely.
basis, and we can speak.
That's nice.
So we can practice it. So that's all we were talking.
Yeah, I think in the meantime, can we also check with Habib? I think you wanted to ask a question, right? You have raised your hand for quite some time. Yeah, please go ahead. Habib Fatima, if you want to ask a question, please unmute yourself. Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
The R. Are you going to school?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Are you going to school? We will be take the lunch. Can I use this sentence?
I will take this lunch.
No, can you repeat?
I will
Are
take
you going
lunch.
to school?
Mm-hmm.
We will
Are
be
you-
take the lunch.
So are you going to school? The answer is yes or no. Are you going to school? Yes. Or no, I'm not.
Okay, we will be going. We will be take the lunch.
That's a different, see, the thing is, when you're constructing sentences, you have to be very clear on what you're talking about. Okay, so, and those words have to be specifically used, right? So if you're asking somebody about lunch, then the sentence is about lunch. So every sentence has like a hero of the story. Okay, maybe we should do a class on the sentence structures. So if you see if you're saying, are you going to school? So you is the hero and are you going to go there? Right? Are you taking lunch to school is a completely different thing. You are still the hero, but your action is different. Right? Is it making sense?
Okay.
So based on what
Okay.
information you want to give and the information you want to get, your questions need to have those specific words. So do you want to find out whether somebody is going to school or not? Or are you trying to find out whether they need lunch or not?
Okay, ma'am.
Are you understand? So if you want to know,
Yeah.
are they going to be taking lunch? You have to ask them, will you be taking lunch to school? So you see the
Okay.
words lunch is there in the question. And will you be, so you is there in the question. So half the answer is in the question most of the time. Okay. So the thing is,
Okay.
what are you talking about? And what answer are you looking for?
Okay, ma'am.
Making sense?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else? Should we watch the
Okay,
video?
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a story. It's a story for kids. So the English is very simple. Okay. We want you to understand the entire story. And while you are listening to the story, I want you to like make a note. If you can make a mental note, do that. If you want to have a pen and paper, do that. Like write down what kind of questions you will ask in this story. So basically, you should get clarity about this story by asking questions. And everybody has to do that. Okay. And then we will have a marathon of question asking where, so don't type in questions right now. Once the story is over, we will let you know when to do that. And then everybody has to be really quick. Okay. If you don't understand the video the first time, we will play it the second time again. So we'll do that. Yeah. So we'll play the video. Please pay attention. It's a very simple video. Most people can understand.
There is no audio actually.
Ma'am, I think audio problem is there.
Hello, ma'am, are you there?
Audio not getting it.
Is it visible
The
now?
mod yes, visible,
Okay.
Was
but
visible, but
audio
the
not
audio
coming.
not come.
Dipanjan, audio is an issue? Dipanjan?
Sorry, am I not audible? Yeah, sorry, so sorry.
Yeah, so is this visible or not?
Yeah, it's visible, but there's a audio issue. So if you can share the link with me, I'll share it from my
Yeah.
device. Yeah.
Yeah. Send it in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
This is I'm sharing.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. You can stop sharing. I'll share. Yeah.
To his field Farmer Gopi went to his field unhappily that day. Because even though it was summer, his field was still not yielding any crops.
Oh, my field has not yielded any crops today either. What am I going to do now? If I can't deliver crops to the kingdom, I'm gonna be in trouble.
One day, just as Gopi was about to give up digging on his barren fields, his shovel hit a hard object.
Huh? What's that?
As he continued digging, he realized that it was a pot.
What's a pot doing in my field? And it's empty inside. Ugh.
Gopi was very unhappy that he had spent so much effort with no reward. He dropped his hoe in the pot and lay under a tree to rest. After a while, when he wanted to take his hoe to return home, he realized that there were 100 more hoes in the pot.
What? How can this happen? I only had one hoe.
Gopi emptied the pot full of hoe, and this time put his shovel in it. But what is that? Another 100 shovels immediately appeared in the pot.
Or is it this pot? A magic pot? Who would have thought?
Gopi was both amazed and thrilled. He brought the pot straight back to his house. He excitedly tried a chicken egg in the pot and left it in the pot. Soon, the pot was overflowing with eggs.
I can't believe my eyes.
Then he put his apple and bread in the pot. The magic pot gave Gopi hundreds of apples and bread.
Now I don't have to deal with this barren field. I can sell these multiplied products in the kingdom market.
Every day, Gopi took the pot's multiplied goods to the kingdom and tried a new product every day. One day clothes, the next day vegetables, and another day beans. Whatever he put in the magic pot, it multiplied. Other sellers were jealous of his success and complained about Gopi to a soldier of the king. The next day, the soldiers secretly followed Gopi. Gopi took the magic pot that morning and put a chick in the pot to sell at the kingdom market. A little later, hundreds of chicks came out of the pot. The soldier couldn't believe his eyes. With hundreds of chicks running around Gopi's house, one accidentally fell into the pot, producing another 100 chicks. Gopi even had a chick on his head, under his chair, and in his dinner plate. The soldier immediately went and told the king what he had seen. The king ordered that Gopi and his magic pot be brought to him immediately. Gopi went before the king, and the king confiscated the pot from him for the kingdom's treasure. Gopi was very upset.
Let me take a closer look at this magic pot that will enrich my well.
The king approached the magic pot and bent down into it.
My king, be careful, please.
But just then, the king slipped. He could not keep his balance and fell right into the pot.
No, the king has fallen into the cauldron. Oh!
In just a few minutes, 100 more of the king had formed in the hall. The soldiers were confused about who to obey. Kings were fighting each other for the throne, each claiming to be the real king.
I am the real king. No, it's me, the real king. No, I am the real king. Shut up. I'm the king.
When Gopi realized how dangerous the magic pot could be, he sneaked out of the palace during the confusion and took his pot with him. He went straight to a cliff and threw the magic pot off the cliff. The pot disintegrated into pieces and disappeared. From that day on, Gopi's field began to grow crops once again, and Gopi understood that the land became fertile not by magic, but by labor, and he lived in wealth forever.
Yeah, hi Trishna, we've stopped the video. Trishna, you're on mute if you're saying something. Okay, so just want to understand, did everyone follow the video? Did everyone understand? Did anyone have any questions regarding this? Any difficult parts to understand here?
ऊपर है ऊपर दरवाजा बंद कर देना
सबको समझ आया ना वीडियो?
Yes,
ओके ओके किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन से कोई डाउट से कोई डिफिकल्ट पार्ट लगा इस वीडियो में जो पूछना चाहेंगे आप इसके बारे में?
नो सर
लाइक कोई डिफिकल्ट वर्ड उसमें लगा जिसका मतलब आपको नहीं पता या फिर ऐसा कुछ जो आप पूछना चाहें?
No, sir, it's very easy.
Okay.
Simple video.
Okay. Yeah, Arti, if you want to ask any new words, you can do that.
Did everyone understand the video?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to play it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Once more.
Okay.
Anyone else? I think let's hear from a bunch of people. It's one person. Okay, how many of you want the video to be played again? And how many of you are comfortable?
बोल सकते
community, it's very important that everybody responds. Okay, so if we don't hear from you, then we don't know whether we need to play this again or not. Like if you're keeping quiet, then we don't know what to do, right?
It was a wonderful story. We enjoyed it. We learned a lot of things by it. There's a hidden message also. Like we have to, if you want to learn something, we have to work hard.
Right. It does
It
have a
was a
moral.
wonderful
That's true.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, moral of the story, and maybe little bit some words were difficult, but most of the story we understand. So it was wonderful.
Devanjan, I think most people are saying they understood. The ones that didn't understand are not speaking, I think.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, madam. Same thing. So,
Sorry?
मैम सेम थिंग आप जो बोल रहे हो ऐसे ही है. अंडरस्टैंड सब कर गया लेकिन बोलने में प्रॉब्लम आती है इंग्लिश.
Okay. All right.
Anas has asked to play something more complicated.
No, he's saying this is complicated.
So
Uh,
Please say something
this one is
else,
easy. Please say,
comma,
please
this
play
is
something else more
complicated.
complicated.
Yeah.
No. He's saying this is complicated for him. Play something else that he can understand. This is called, advanced English versus misunderstanding the meaning. Yeah. You play something complicated and he will say it went over my head. I don't understand anything.
Yeah.
I misunderstood you. Okay, so others were right. You
Yeah.
want people to play something more complicated. This is
Yeah.
too simple for you.
Correct. Yeah.
Anas? Sorry?
Hello.
Yes, hi Anas. What are you trying
Hi,
to say?
ma'am. So I was asking, I just want to request you to play something else more complicated, for which contain more new words for us to use in our daily life. This one
Right.
which you played right now, it only included 2 to 3 words maximum, which were yielded, which started with a Y. So that was the only word which I found to be in new for new English speakers.
Right. So Anas, the thing is, okay, looks like I misunderstood Anas. Okay. All right. So the thing is, the most Apna crowd that comes here is at a beginner level, right? So we're trying to cater to that level. Anas, what you could do is, so what I would like to do with intermediate learners, level 2 or even advanced, I think is English maybe at intermediate level or advanced. What you could do is help other people when they are trying to understand. Okay. So we're so this is not about how many questions this had. The challenge is that once you understood the story, you have to ask the right questions, assuming that you don't know the story to get the whole story out. So Anas, if you understood the story, then the challenge I have for you is that the community is going to ask questions and then you have to answer all the questions. Are you up for that?
Sure, we can give it a try.
You can give it a try. Okay, awesome. So, so Anas will be the master of the story because he's understood really well, and you should ask him the right question. Okay, that's the challenge, so that you get the story out again. Okay, so you have to ask the right question. If you ask the wrong question, then he will not give you the information. Okay. Yeah, so actually, before we start off this, I really want to apologize to the community here today. I'm like a little bit out and in. It's because my mom is hospitalized and she kind of got discharged. I was hoping to get that done earlier today, but the hospital let her go at 6 p.m. And we just kind of got her home after a month of hospitalization. So I'm sorry, I'm not at my best right now. But thank you for having me. And I really wanted to do this community and not miss out on a chance to be with you all. Okay. So Dipanjan knows this is not my presentation standard usually.
No, I
Okay.
understand. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And really helpful. Yeah, she's
It's
doing
okay,
good.
ma'am.
So
It's okay.
let's stop it about my mom. I wanted to explain my situation so you can understand the distraction that's going on in the background. I think that's only that you all deserve to know. Yeah. So all right. So Anas is going to be jumping back into the session. Anas is going to be, the master story. Anas, you want to see the story again, or did you get it? Anas went sleeping. Anas, is he there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we can go ahead with the questions.
Okay, you'll be available, right?
I am.
Okay. All right. So about the story, you're going to frame questions, and Anas is going to answer these questions. Okay. Anas, what you need to do is you're not going to interpret the questions. Okay. If a person is asking questions and it is not making sense, you will answer the way you understand literally. Okay, so I want people to get a feedback in a real-time situation to know whether are they asking correctly or not. Like, suppose you ask a question in a wrong way. Like, suppose I want to ask, what is this class about? And I say, how is this class? Right? The question is framed wrongly and therefore I get the wrong answer. Okay?
All right.
Dipanjan, can you share the link in the chat so that people who missed out can watch it on the site?
Yeah, sure.
Those of you who watched it. So again, last chance, how many of you want to see it again?
Okay, I think everyone feels confident.
Okay.
They remember
awesome.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So we go to the question. So, all right, frame the appropriate question to get the story out. Seema, we've shared the link. You can watch it on the site. Since there are only one or two people, we're going to just move ahead with the class. We have a recording of the session, so you can go through it again and find value. Yeah. All right. So Anas is online. He's gonna answer your questions about the story. You have to frame the right questions. Okay. So let me start off. And Dipanjan, can you do the next one? So each person gets one question that they can ask Anas about the story, and he'll answer us. Okay. So Anas, first question: what is the story about?
The story about the magical pot. What is the advantage and disadvantage about the pot?
Okay, so Aarti says the story is about my pot, about a magic pot, right? So that's so I got an answer to my question, so which means my question was right. Okay, Dipanjan, your turn.
Yeah. What was the problem that the farmer was facing?
Anas?
Anas, you're on mute if you're saying something. You can unmute yourself and answer this question. Okay, is there anyone else who'd like to try to answer the question? Like, what was the problem that the farmer was facing?
Due to barren land.
Sorry, please pardon.
Due to barren land.
Due to a barren land. Okay.
Was there a barren land in the story?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
No, nothing grew in this thing, but was it a barren land?
Yeah, it was a barren land. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Next question. Anyone else wants to try?
Yeah, so you get the idea, right? So we're gonna, so since Anas is not unmuting himself and he promised us that he will, take this challenge on, and then he disappeared. So we will let that be. Anybody who feels like answering the question about the entire video, you can. And anybody who wants to ask a question can. So basically, when you're raising your hand, you tell us whether you want to answer a question or you want to ask a question. Who wants to try?
अगर कोई भी सवाल पूछना चाहे तो आप अपना हैंड रेज कीजिए, और अगर कोई जवाब देना चाहे तो वो भी हमें बताइए ताकि हम आगे बढ़ सके।
Gagan, I think you should try speaking.
Madam, actually, I understand everything in English, but when I speak, I have no word in my mind. This
Yeah,
is my problem.
yeah. So when you start speaking so much, you're making sense when you speak. Okay, which is good. It can be improved for sure, but your performance is not bad. Okay, you must take these opportunities to try. Okay, that's how you
Thank
will
you, ma'am.
improve.
Thank you.
Yeah, you must take this opportunity to try. This is how you will improve. Okay, you want to try a question about the story?
No, actually, ma'am, right now I don't have any question in my mind.
No. So this is an exercise. So we watched the story. Now you have to frame questions. Okay. So it's not to understand. It's an exercise for you to make questions. Try and to make a
Okay,
question.
ma'am, my question is why farmer fell down, fought
Why farmer fell
from
down?
pot and broken.
अच्छा, the very last thing, like why did the farmer throw the pot and break it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did the farmer? Can you frame that question again properly? Why did the farmer
Throw pot and broken.
and break it?
Yes.
Repeat after me. Why did the farmer throw the pot and
Why,
break it?
why did the farmer
Mhm.
break pot?
Good job. Okay. So Gagandeep learned to ask a question. Who will want to learn how to answer his question? One more person.
आप ट्राई जरूर कीजिए, हेजिटेट मत कीजिए, मतलब आप गलत भी बोल रहे हो तो कोई इशू नहीं है, बट आप ट्राई कीजिए अनम्यूट करके, अगर कोई भी ट्राई करना चाहे तो। सुनील जी, आप ट्राई करना चाहेंगे?
Yes, sir.
हाँ। हाँ, तो क्वेश्चन है कि लाइक व्हाई डिड द फार्मर ब्रेक द पॉट? एंड में उन्होंने पॉट तोड़ दिया था, तो क्यों तोड़ा? इसका आंसर आप देने की कोशिश कीजिए।
I'll try to give the answer.
Who's that? Who spoke just
Hello?
now?
I'll try to give the answer.
Chandra Pratap, you're next, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, because he was frustrated because he seen hundreds of the king.
Okay, all right. So you're the next person. Right now, Sunil will answer that question, okay?
Yeah.
It's Sunil's turn. You take the next turn, okay? Yeah, go ahead, Sunil. Please answer.
The farmer see hundreds of kings is fighting with each other and say, "Ki, I am the real king." So, farmer very disappointed with this activity done by kings, and he disappointed about that problem, and he decided that he can break the magic bricks so that this problem will not come in future. Actually, king is already know the magic brick magic pot, and he misuse about the magic pot. So he break it and throw.
Sunil, your level of understanding is amazing. Okay.
Yes.
What you need to do to improve your English is select better words to communicate your idea. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Great
ma'am. Thank
going,
you.
great going. Like very deep understanding of the story. Okay. Yeah. So this is for Sunil for amazing, comprehension, and for I think his name was Gagan. Yes, Gagan for trying his first question. Great job. Right. Let's encourage these guys. Nobody's giving, The community is quiet. We must encourage each other. Okay. See, Dipanjan has a clap going on his top. Yeah. Please do that. Please participate. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we had Chandradeep. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Chandra Pratap.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, Sunil. Thank you, Gagan. You can mute yourself. Yes, Pratap, you get to ask a question.
No, I was giving the answer on that questions that time.
Yes, I know, but Sunil was already being given a chance, so we
Okay,
didn't want to
okay.
take a chance away. So now you can, since you answered a question already, you can try framing a question. Rosie, would you like to take an answer? I see your hand up.
For the same question.
No, Chandra Pratap will ask a question, then you can answer.
Okay, sure, no
Okay.
problem.
Yeah, Chandra Pratap, go ahead.
Who was watching what the farmer are doing through the pot?
Okay.
It's only, if I can answer, it was the soldier who was watching him, what he did at his
Yes.
place.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Who wants
Thank
to
you,
go
Rosie.
next?
Okay,
Who wants to
welcome.
go next? Thank you,
Uh,
Rosie. Thank you, Chandra Pratap.
Ankur, do you want to try?
Yes, sir. I mean, I want to answer the question from Gagandeep, like why he threw the pot and broke it. So, I mean, my answer is very simple. Like, he realized that this magic pot, will create a problem for the kingdom if the people will use this in in appropriate manner without going for the hard work and just simply depend on the magic pot. So, just to avoid anything in future, he just threw it and broke it.
That's right. Yeah. Very articulate, Ankur. Wonderful. Thank you. You want to take a question next?
Yes, I mean, I can ask one question. How did
Who's
the
this?
farmer find the magic pot?
This is Ankur itself. Yeah.
Oh, Ankur. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So my question for the audience is, how did the farmer found the magic pot?
Okay. How did he find? Not how did he found? How did he find the magic?
Yeah, how did he?
Yeah. Anyone
It
who
is
wants to
tenses. Yeah.
anyone who wants to try answering? I think Anas is back. Anas, do you want to try answering the question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please.
So the farmer was on his farm. Right? The question was, how did the farmer find the magic pot, right?
Somebody has a background noise. Please mute yourself. Aditya. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so if you want to participate, please raise your hand and Dipanjan will call out your name. I kind of disrupt Dipanjan a lot, so when I'm disrupting, so that is what it is. So either one of us will call out your name and then speak so that everybody can get benefit. Anybody who wants to jump in, please use chat. Like that's your playground. Please chat, put in anything that you want to type out in the community to know and chat to everyone. Okay. Everyone can answer the question. One person will be talking verbally. The rest of us can get onto the chat and answer. Ankur, can you, I think we've gotten the question by now. Ankur, what was the question again?
Ma'am, the question was, how did the farmer found the magic pot in the his field?
Okay, how did he find it? Okay.
Yeah.
Anas, do you want to take that?
Ma'am, farmer digging the land and found the magic pot.
Gagan, very proud of you, okay? Like coming on a public forum and practicing your broken English, like really good. Keep at it. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm trying to speak best English.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Dipanjan, where
Right
the
now,
hand is clapping hand?
It's in the reaction section at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Anas. All right, Gagan. Thank you so much for that. Who else wants to try?
So the farmer was digging on his land, and out of frustration, he randomly hit on a spot. I guess that's what he did, and his hoe, the instrument which he was using to farm, actually hit on something quite hard, which is very unusual. So out of curiosity, he looked into it, and he found out that it was a pot. So when someone sees a pot, they think there might be some gold in it. But the case here is there was nothing in it. So he was quite frustrated again. So as we saw, he threw his hoe inside the pot and walked away. And when he came back, he realized that his hoe was multiplied.
So, Anas, is that a relevant answer or is that extra answer to Ankur's question?
That's an extra point I added.
Extra point added. Okay. We'll give you 100 extra points for that. Okay. So, okay. Now, Anas, because he disappeared on us while we were waiting for him, he will ask a question. And who wants to answer Anas this time? Who wants to try?
Yeah, you can raise your hand if you want to try to answer a question.
Anas, ask a slightly complicated question. Let's see. So we're gonna up the game. This is not simple question. This is trying to understand the story more deeply. And okay, Anas will ask the question to the community, and all of us will try. Okay, shall we do that?
I can't answer this one.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Anas. Ask the question.
Wait.
Everyone's ready? 1, 2, 3. Anas, go.
Wait, I'll have to think about it first.
What?
I'll have to think about it first because I'm not good at asking questions.
Yeah, then that's what you should practice. Try. We should try new things. Okay.
So I guess I will ask like, why was the farmer frustrated when the king fell into the pot?
Okay. All right. So it's interesting how we interpret, right? So Sunil sees that experience for the farmer is disappointed, and Aras is seeing that as frustrated. Okay. All right. So why was the farmer frustrated? Who wants to answer? Like, let's all of us answer. Chat, whoever wants to speak, please raise your hand. Go ahead, Ankur.
Yeah. So, ma'am, once the king was fallen into the magical pot, he noticed that there were hundred of new kings, and they were fighting, for the throne. And he realized that it will create definitely a challenging situation. So he thought the best thing to solve this condition to throw out the pot. So that's why he was frustrated because everyone is fighting for the kingship. So that was, I believe, the reason.
Okay, according to you. All right. Yeah, Rosie, go.
For me, I think the farmer was scared because he didn't want it should be the magical, this magic pot should not be misused by anyone else. So he destroyed the pot.
So according to you, he was not frustrated. He was
No, he was scared.
He was
Yes.
scared. Okay. Okay, let's ask this question. How do you think, so since this seems to be a topic of the conversation, what do you think the farmer felt? How did he feel when, king fell into the pot and many kings came out and they all started fighting and things like that? How do you think he felt? So according to Sunil, he was disappointed. According to Anas, he was frustrated. Rosie says he was scared. What else? How do you think he felt? Yeah, Gagan.
So,
Sorry, who's that? Dipanjan, I can hear somebody in the background. Who was that?
Yeah, I think this was Anas's background noise. I've muted. Yeah.
Um, right.
Anyone who wants to try? Rosie and Ankur have already gone ahead. Anyone else? अगर कोई और कोशिश करना चाहे तो? सीमा जी आपको ट्राई करना है क्या? Seema, would you like to try?
There was a person called Ratnesh. I think he was in a previous session as well. Is he still around? Ratnesh, are you around? He dropped off. Okay, never mind. All right. So basically, when we are communicating, this is another tip. It's really so when we're talking about these emotional situations which are very complicated, you can really understand a person's communication by identifying what they're feeling. Okay. So frustration, scared. Then the other person said he was disappointed. So basically, we are interpreting body language, tone of voice, actions, and trying to interpret what the other person is feeling. This forms a very, very huge part of communication as well, right? So that's why we say that, you know, when we are communicating, then even like the face and the tone and everything actually matters in how we communicating. So we want to understand that person is feeling happy talking to us, they're interested, they're curious, and then that keeps the conversation going. If we feel that somebody is not really interested, and we're like, oh, okay, maybe something I'm saying is not, you know, hitting home and things like that, right? Okay, all right, wonderful. So basically, when we're looking at this entire exercise, what we learned today, I'm just sharing my thing. So what we learned today really is that there is a reality, okay, and this reality has two sides, three sides to it, okay. What are these? Any idea? What is your reality made of? Anyone? I'll let you think.
Anything which is actual or real.
Actual or real. So your reality is made up in space, right, Rosie?
Yes.
Yeah, so space meaning that I'm sitting next on the chair. I'm sitting next to you know, a stool, right? So we're talking about space. So we're trying to describe what things look like visually, right? So that's space, like things, okay?
Yes.
Isn't it? What else makes up a reality? Rosie, what else makes up a reality?
reality is something which we can touch and feel, which we can actually describe about something.
Correct. So that is space, but is space static? Is space like a photograph, like you get things or do things move? In a reality,
It
do
is
things move?
it is true. It is true.
Yeah,
You
so
cannot
things,
contradict that thing. It has to be, correct only.
yeah, correct. So we use language to describe space. We also use this, you know, language to talk about time, right? And actions are very closely related to time. So if we say we are doing this class, we finished this class, we're going to be doing this class next week, right? What are we discussing? Space and time, right? Where are we going to do it? Online, space. When are we going to do it? Time, right?
Right.
Okay. And then we're going to be describing how we're going to be doing it. right? So these are things that we can see and experience with our senses, right? So we can see, hear, smell, taste, feel on our skin, right? What about things that we experience, but it's not through our five senses? What is that?
Emotions.
Correct.
That is imagination.
Imagination, correct. So thought and feeling, right? These are stative. So state of being, that also describes a reality in a certain way, correct? So we use language to describe or communicate our reality. It could be stative, it could be real. When I say real, stative is also real. And we can use the word tangible, maybe. That's a better word. So basically, we can experience it with all our senses. And so we use language, and questions are related to that reality, right? So we are asking when, time, where, place, why, again, stative, like motive, right? How, right? Which, right? That's a question we've missed earlier. We didn't ask which. So I have 10 meetings. Which one? I can't attend all of them. Which one of them do I want to cancel? Okay. Okay. So that's a takeaway from this session is depending on what answer you want about the reality, please frame your questions accordingly. Like we all experienced today. So we had a bit of an experience of that. Yeah, so Dipanjan, we can go into Q&A. I think we've answered most of the questions, whatever we can answer now.
Yeah, sure. I think there were a few questions that came in earlier, which we can attend to. Just checking the chat for that. Yeah, I think one question was that how can we improve the fluency in speaking, right? Any particular tips, suggestions for that?
Okay, so fluency is, how many of us know about competency? So there is this whole thing about unconscious incompetency, which means that we don't even know that we're supposed to learn that skill. So if somebody tells me I'm supposed to breathe on Mars, I'm like, I don't care. It's an unconscious competency, right? I'm not an astronaut. I'm never going to go there. I don't mind. So it's not something that I want to learn. Then conscious incompetency. No. So now say I want to learn how to drive a car. I want to travel, right? And so now I know that I want to drive a car, but I don't know how to drive it. Okay. So then what I will do is I'll start taking driving lessons. Like, okay, I need to do this now because I need to start driving around. What happens is when I'm starting to drive a car, if anybody, has learned it, if you learn how to ride a bicycle or a motorbike for the first time, it's like, okay, where is the clutch? Where is the steering wheel? Where is the brake? Like, we're going to try and remember that. Okay. And with that concentration, we are able to drive. That's called conscious competency. Okay. Unconscious competency is when you get into the car, you're having a phone call. A lot of people will be like, call me when I'm driving so that I can actually discuss this idea with you. Do you think they're getting from one place, safely from one place to the other? They absolutely are. Okay, why? Because they become so good at driving that they can do it even in their sleep, right? So they're able to do much other things while they're driving. This is called unconscious competency. So fluency in English is unconscious competency of the language. Is it making sense? So you have to go through those various stages. Like maybe you don't need to learn English. Your life is fine. It doesn't matter to you. Okay. But if you want to apply for a job or you want to travel, you're like, oh my God, I need to know English. Knowing my local language is not enough. So you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to learn that. Then you start picking up words, you get to understand the meaning and things like that, right? And then first thing is you're getting your vocabulary up. Second is you're trying to understand rules of how this vocabulary is framed into sentences. Then you're trying to test whether what you're saying the other person is understanding or not. If they're not understanding, how can you say it better, right? Then you're trying to communicate things. more and more complicated things to the other person. Like Anas today is totally frustrated with the story because he's like, this is too simple for me, right? And then you
No,
reach
that
an
was not the case.
sorry?
That was not the case. The only reason I asked you for a better story was because the story which you showed only contained maximum of 2 words.
Yeah.
So I requested you to play something which included more vocabulary.
Yeah, that's because your competency level in English is higher. You may not be at conscious competency, you may be going towards unconscious competency in English. Okay, so you won't find it challenging. It's not according at your level, right? Yeah, so this is what happens when, so if a person is very good at driving the car and you tell them, it's so difficult to change from the second to third gear, they're like, why do I need to do about this? I know this already, I can do it all the time, right? Anas is at that stage. So he wants a better challenge. So he's like, okay, now teach me how to drift, right? Teach me how to, do parallel parking in a really, really small space. I want to learn that. Like that's challenging for me. Right? Correct, no, Anas?
Yes, you're partially correct, but I did not come up with that intention. I came here uh, at a beginner level just to learn few words, new words at my like at a lower level stage.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, Anas, what happens with the brain is that we are automatically learning. Language acquisition is a natural part of our process. A lot of things go into your leveling up, and you will see that your motive actually fits into that area that you are at. Okay. So, thank you for allowing me to take your example and being very supportive. I was, joking in some places. I hope you're okay with that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, this time to, it's really, this is for the community as a whole. We learn a lot when we have these experiences and take real life examples versus getting theory, right? So I try to take real life examples and get you to that theory versus give you that theory and then you try to remember that theory and then you lose the situation. Right? So did I answer the question about fluency? So there are a lot of things that go into fluency. Vocab is one part of it, which is you need to know words, how and where you use them. So knowing the words is not enough. What choices are important? How do you frame your sentences? Do you do them meaningfully or not? And then you have also the ability to comprehend what the other person is saying and answering them meaningfully and having a conversation at the next day. So all these factors, when they reach an unconscious competency level, is when you would start calling a person fluent. Now, there is no one like mark saying that okay, you reach that fluency state. Like the more your brain gets used to doing that same exercise, one day suddenly you're like, okay, I can do this. It's easy. That's fluency. Right. Next question, Dipankar.
Yeah. So the next question is like how they can, have an English mindset. I don't understand the question fully, but yeah, how to, yeah. 1 second, I have to check. This was an old question. I'm not sure if he's still in the call. In English. Yeah, I think this is from Raja. Raja, if you're still on the call. I think he's not. But yeah, I think we can still address this question, like how to have how to do English mindset always is
Yes.
what the question is. Yeah.
So I think the reason why I found this question very interesting and I think Dipankar on the side to bring this up in the Q&A section because I think all of us as a community can really benefit from that is the ability to think in English. Okay, so what happens is when we have a first language, say we're really good in Hindi, everything that we think about, anything that we want to do, anything that we want to ask comes in that first language. Okay. And then that's a fluency. So you'll find yourself very, very fluent in English. But when you're trying to translate that into English, when you think of it in Hindi and you try to translate that in English, you suddenly find that you're not as fluent, right? So thinking in English is the first step. So basically, what you do is you look at this object. This is a remote control, and you think of that word in English itself, not in Hindi, not in Tamil, not in Telugu, in English. So you have to train your mind like this. So you say this object in English is remote. Okay. This object, like what that looks like behind me, that's a fridge. So you say that is red in English. Right? You start training your memory like that. So that's the first one. So when you're building your vocabulary, you don't say what, okay, I don't know the Hindi word, but say for water, if you say pani. Okay, so you don't train your memory saying that this thing is pani, and then pani is, you know, water in English. Like that overloads our brain. Okay, so when you're every time you're trying to remember 5 words, you have to remember like 10 words, one in Hindi and then one in English. Okay, so cut it short. Object, like imagine the object visually. In English, it is this. So you're codifying your memory like that. So what happens is when you codify it like that, when you try to recall it also next time, so if you think like, what is this in English? You'll be like, your brain will throw back saying this is a remote. Okay. Same thing you ask yourself, what is this in Hindi? And it will throw back a Hindi word. So that's how you train your memory. Okay. So you start thinking in English. That's number one. Number two, language is very closely associated with culture and values, right? So if you want to develop an English mindset, like an English thinking mindset, try and expose yourself to as much of English possible in a way that you enjoy it, right? Like a lot of people get into English because they want to perform well, because they want validation, because you want to do well at your job, which is all good. But if you enjoy English and you love speaking it and you're good at it, that all those things will be automatic. So I would say just enjoy English, you know, associate it with a lot of experiences that you can have. But when, you know, in a class like this, we're having an experience together and it's interesting. So we're going to remember this and we're going to remember the words associated with that. So similarly, try and create similar experiences, whether it is talking, whether it is books, whether it's movies, whether it is like doing your favorite thing, like if you like doing the DIY, do it yourself projects, you know, listen to that in English. Yeah. So this much to start with, and then we can go from there to develop an English mindset. If, like the best of my ability to understand that question, given the concerned person is not here. Department, shall we take one last question?
Yeah. Is there any new question? Anyone else who wants to ask something? Anything else that people want to ask?
Today, Kola
Yeah.
has a hand raised.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Please go ahead. Shishavali, right? Please go ahead with your question. आप कोई सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं क्या? Okay.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, Chandra Pratap. Go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry. Chandra, can you unmute yourself once again? So I think I mute you by mistake. Yeah.
Yeah. So, ma'am, if anyone ask any questions, and I know what is the answer of that question, but I'm unable to answer that question. So like how I can remove the hesitation? I know what is the word, I know what is the phrase I have to use, and I know the answer of that question, but I'm unable to give the answer.
Yeah, so see, spoken English is not about practice, right? Because you're, it's literally building muscle memory to speak, right? So I would say answer in any way that you can, and if you make mistakes, try and correct it next time.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
I mean, these are not complicated things. I know you're looking for a magic, but then your English needs to improve. Uh, what can I call you, Chandra? Chandra
Yeah,
Pratap.
you can. Yeah, you can call me
Should I
Chandra.
call you Chandra?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
so your overall English competency needs to improve, which means one is you need to work on your pronunciation. Okay.
Okay.
Second thing is you need to practice a lot. Like maybe you know the word, but you're not able to say it, which means you say the word 50 times. You know, so you're
My mind try to think in Hindi.
yeah, that's what I was talking about. So basically, you have to start codifying your memory in English. So
Okay.
what happens, Chandra Pratap, when we're growing up as children, okay,
Yeah.
we have all these experiences and we're getting to know our world and we are simultaneously being exposed to a language. Okay. So
Okay.
in our memory, what happens is those experience and that language becomes like this. Okay, so this is the language, this is the experience. So the
Okay.
moment you recall that word, you'll also recall those experiences. Like if I ask you, tell me all those experiences that you had that made you happy. Say khushi, okay? You know, all those memories will come back, right?
Yeah.
Which you were happy. That will happen in Hindi. But if I ask you the same thing in English, tell me which memory, made you happy, you'll sit and think. When was I happy last? Right? Does it happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because your memory is codified in Hindi. So Hindi and experience have gone together. So if you want to build the same fluency with English, you have to create those memories from now.
Okay.
Are you understanding? So
Yeah.
basically, like, say, do you like games? What do
Yeah.
you like? You like movies, you like games, what do you have doing? Please. Chandra
Sorry,
Prasad?
ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
1 second, Gagan, hold on. What do you like doing, Chandra?
Watching movie and playing game both.
Games. What kind of games do you play?
Like cricket and chess.
You play cricket, okay? So, okay, so when you're doing chess, for example, have conversations in English. Okay,
Okay.
so that thrill of competition, fighting with that other person, seeing whether you win or not, disappointment, frustration, joy, like so many experiences happen, right?
Yeah.
Try and connect, have those experiences in English. Same thing with cricket. Get a friend together, and you play cricket.
Yeah.
What you bat or you bowl? What do you do?
Bat.
You bat. So when you're batting, like, have a running commentary in your head in English. I did really well. Oh my God, that was bad. I can do it better next time. Oh, that was amazing. Like, I should keep going like this, right? So instead of, I'm sure you do that in Hindi, try doing that in English, right? That will help modify your memory. Initially, it will feel very funny and awkward, but over a period of time, you'll start building a comfort with it. And then English words will start popping in your brain. Yeah. Gagan, I hope that answered your question, Chandra.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Try it. Give us feedback. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Gagan.
Ma'am, I have a difficulty for me when I alone and my mind put any question to me and I give answer without speak very good. But when I speak, my mind disturb. I have no any grammar. I finish my mind.
I think you should take classes, Gagan.
Okay, ma'am.
Go to English class. They're very structured. Okay, so they'll teach you step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And select something that you enjoy. Okay, so attend the training class, see if you like the teacher, that you're working with, see if you like the students and things like that. Don't go to something that you don't like. Don't force yourself. Okay. So once you like it, what happens is they will teach you step by step on how to think about English. Like what should you think, what should your framework would be, how to learn vocabulary, how to learn grammar, how to use it in your day-to-day life. And then once you learn these rules, then you practice as much as you can. So my suggestion is don't learn too many rules, learn 5 rules and use it a lot, right? And then you'll see like a change and then you can see where you can go from there. I think practice a lot, Sudan. Okay? You need
Okay,
some
ma'am. Thank
structure,
you.
like don't go unstructured, don't do self-learning and things like that for you. Take a proper class with other people in there. You will enjoy it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. I think Krishna, that's about all the questions that we could take. There isn't any more questions that's left. So we'll move towards the conclusion bit. I'll if there's anything that you want to wrap up, otherwise I can take the conclusion part.
Yeah, so what I wanted to share is two to three things. Department, shall we share about what we were discussing earlier today?
Yeah, I'll mention that. Yeah.
You will mention that. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. If there's anything to add, then I'll add that.
Sure. So, since we are doing these sessions and we see that, people are coming in and finding value, we are planning to launch, like I think Ravi had mentioned this, they wanted a space where they can come and practice. So we are in the process of building something like this, where you can come in, practice with other people, and, you can also interact with Trishna, get feedback from her, get guidance and mentorship to, get resources that will help you learn. So we will be launching a series of different kind of offerings that you can pick and go from. Starting from a very simple thing would be like a one-on-one consultation, followed by a 3-month mentorship program. So these are various things that are currently in place. So before we go on and launch these things, we wanted to get some feedback and ideas from you. So is this something that you would be interested in if we launch something like that? Just letting you know, giving a clear idea, these sessions, these one-on-one interactions, these mentorship programs and classes that we do on a one-on-one basis would be a paid session, right? Would include some charges involved. Obviously, we'll keep the charges very, very minimal so that it's not a big thing for you. But wanted to get an idea from the audience here if they would be interested in doing something like this, if they would be okay to participating in a mentorship program if we launch something for the community. If anyone has anything to say, anything to add to it, do let us know, either on the chat or in the feedback form, or you can unmute yourself. But yeah, this is something that we are planning to do. If you think this will be help you, do let us know.
Yes, sir. It would be wonderful option, sir. It would be really helpful people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else who wants to add any feedback regarding this? Any things that this can help you out, or feels that no, this will not be a suitable option? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll quickly share a feedback form here with you. You can let us know your thoughts here. There's a section on, what things we can do better. So if you feel a session like this, where, you're getting consultation, mentorship on a one-on-one basis, please share it here. We would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do remember this when you're filling out the feedback form to add a note about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. Krishna, if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I'm just sharing some links. Basically, Spoken English for All also has like this Instagram replicated on a Facebook page.
Yeah.
The idea is that every post is created to for a person to start thinking more and more in English. So it makes you think a little bit about some aspect of your life. It could be about your work, it could be about motivation, it could be about wellness, and then you think about the post and then you respond. Like if you're shy about responding on the on the forum, like I'm hoping that it'll build into a community and the community can help itself. We don't have great followership right now, but the idea behind it was that. So basically, if you are comfortable just responding publicly, that would be great. But if not, you can still take the post and respond in private to yourself, like create a document and write it. And if you follow this post every day, like it's like one post a day or something, will take like 5 to 10 minutes of your time. It will slowly help you. It will give you that 10 minutes packet where you're forcing yourself to think in English. Like that was the whole idea behind this. The second thing is there is an ebook that we put together based on our interactions with folks. I think a lot of people think about what they should learn and they don't think about how they should learn it. Okay. So I really do feel that learners should be in control of their learning journey and not be I mean, teachers should not, like we're in a 21st, like 22nd century now, 21st century now, and we are like what away there. So I think now we have come to a point where learners take charge of their learning process. Like you know best what works for you, you know. And this is a resource that will help you, give you like a framework on how to think about where you're at. So as a beginner, how should you approach your learning? As an intermediate, how you should approach your learning? As a advanced learner, how you should approach your learning? And therefore, when you look at resources on the internet, you're not like overwhelmed or lost. You know how and what to pick and choose from there. And the idea of this, actually, it's my dream to create like a community, Dipanjan,
Yeah.
where people can navigate their own self-learning. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's possible, but yeah, that will be like awesome if we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sharing these two resources here. Then of course there's my page on Apna. We're trying to see, I'm just trying to evaluate how these sessions, these 10 sessions will add value to the Apna community. So like Dipanjan said, your feedback is like, I go through every feedback that we get and I'm trying to like, you know, shape my classes according to that. Yeah. So I post on the public forum as well, but I think the continuity is lost. So I kind of tend to do like standalone fun posts that can help, like that 10-minute engagement thing with English. The thing with English is you can't do it like once and then just leave it. You have to keep at it. Like 10 minutes every day for 1 year has more value than you doing it for 3 days continuously and just like forgetting about it. Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to say to her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's about it. We'll be wrapping up the session for today. We'll again have more sessions in the upcoming week. So do follow the communities here so that you can get invited to the further sessions, and do share your feedback. I've shared the form with you. Very soon we'll be introducing and launching new initiatives to help everyone practice, and hope to see you again for the next session. Anyone who has been a part of the session, we'd love to see you in the next session as well. And thank you very, very much, Trishna, for once again giving your time here and taking this effort to teach all the people here and add value to the community. And thank you everyone for joining in. I hope. Yeah.
Dipanjan, I have a request. Can we just hang on for 5 minutes? I mean, whoever wants to drop off can.
Yeah.
I see some questions. I'd like to answer those folks here. I
Sure.
think they're important. I'll just respond in chat. We can speak.
Sure. Yeah. So we'll definitely have more sessions like these, and do come in for the next session so that it becomes easier for you. And yeah, I wish everyone a very, very good night and have a good weekend. We'll be staying back for another 5 minutes. So in case people want to ask anything in chat, we'll be happy to do that. But for others, anyone who wishes to drop off can do that. Yeah.
Thank you, Dipanjan. Thank you, Apna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
This question I saw. I'm going informal, okay? This is like after class. So Habib is saying imagination is